Today is November 5th, 2024. My name is Joe Reingold, and I'm here with the Okon family. And guys, please introduce yourselves first of all, and then we'll get started. Go ahead.
I'm Steve Okon. What else?
Next.
Hi, I'm Tricia Reingold. And I'm Susan Okon Chazanow.
I'm Louis Okon.
Okay. And we're here to learn about the Okon family, what they do, about the Dallas Hebrew Free Loan Association, but also a little bit about your background, what you've done in Dallas, and what you've been involved in.
I didn't sign up.
And we-
Sorry about that.
We have some documents and literature and things to share with you. They do, so take it away. Where were you from? Who was here first? How did they get here? How long have they been here in Dallas, et cetera, or in the States, I should say, and in Dallas?
So I guess I'll start. Louis Okon and my great grandfather immigrated from
Can you pronounce
Russia.
from Russia.
it? Good enough.
They're named after him.
Bialystok.
Bialystok.
What is
Bialystok.
it?
Bialystok.
Yes,
That's where my family's from.
Bialystok, Russia. In
Hey, look.
1903. So Louis Okon immigrated here in 1903 from Bialystok, Russia, and started collecting bones to sell as fertilizer and other products. And someone told him there's more money to be made in scrap metal, so he pivoted, and the rest is history. So
Where did he come first? Where did he settle here?
So he came into the port of Galveston, and on December 8th, 1903, and
You
set
went
up.
to Brownsville at some point.
Well, he started in Brownsville and collected bones, like Louis said, and saved up some money, and he bought some equipment, diving equipment, and got some people, and there were a lot of ships and boats and stuff that were sunk by not too far out, and so they went out and they recovered them, and they brought them up, and he ended up with a small fleet of ships, and the Mexican government found out about it and took him away from him and kicked him out of Mexico. So that's why he ended up back in Brownsville.
And then from there, obviously, what generation moved north from Brownsville?
Well, he did, and he followed his girlfriend, come wife, my great grandmother, to Fort Worth, and then
He started a yard there.
started a metal recycling facility there, and called junkyards back then, and then moved to Dallas.
Of which we do have a picture of it.
So he had been here, your family has been here quite a while. Yeah. And it's still a family-owned operation? You're still in business together?
Still in business.
How's that going?
It's not my great grandfather's junkyard anymore. So we've just changed with the times. Where likely in his time he was recycling steam engines and horse-drawn carriages. Today it's renewable energy, solar panels, and highly technical rare earth magnets and other metals, legacy metals that he was doing before as well.
The Okon name in Dallas is very well known, not just for metals and recycling, but each of you in your own way have been involved in a number of different things in the secular community as well as the Jewish community, I'm guessing. So tell us a little bit, each of you, about what you've been involved in through the years.
Well, I've been involved with the Temple of Emmanuel. I was consecrated and bar mitzvahed and everything, married there. When the temple was down in South Dallas many years ago, and then moved out north. I'm also affiliated with a temple in Jackson, Mississippi, and Louis and I are very strong in the Chabad here in Dallas, and that's my part.
Go ahead. Tricia?
Well, same. I obviously was born here. I was the first, or one of the first babies at Temple Emmanuel to be named at the new temple. I was born in '57, and that's when Temple moved. And so I was one of the very first babies. And since then, my entire family and my kids have all been raised at Temple Emmanuel. My grandbabies have all been named from the rabbis at Temple Emmanuel, very involved in Temple. And then as far as other organizations, I have volunteered for many. Children's Cancer Fund was one of the main ones that I volunteered with. Also, the Yes event, I chaired it for Legacy several years, and just different organizations, my kids' school, so very involved in philanthropic organizations.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks.
And I was born in Dallas, and I grew up at Temple Emmanuel. I was confirmed there and married there. My kids were blessed from the rabbis there also. I became very active in an organization called AMC Cancer Research Center, and I was president and woman of the year for them. And I went on to be with Children's Cancer Fund and lots of other charity events. I chaired Chip Moody's auction for many years. He was on TV. And I worked with Tony Hill, who is the former Dallas Cowboy, and I did events with him, and we're still friends to this day, and he still calls on me to do things, and he even called on Lewis to help him on some of his things, so that's basically it.
Okay, Lewis?
And I've had 3 kids get confirmed at Temple Emmanuel. One of them, well, 2 of them, one of them's in class right now. And I was bar mitzvahed and married at Temple as well. So, and in the spirit of charitable, we support Bonton Farms, which is a local charity in South Dallas. And then my dad referenced Chabad. Rabbi Dabrowski came to him in 1985 and asked him to build the largest steel menorah in Texas. So you can still see that each year at the JCC during Hanukkah.
Wonderful legacy. That's good. Okay, so let's move into the Dallas Hebrew Free Loan Association. If you will all share with us some of your stories. How did you hear about it? How did you get involved? What kind of things do you know about it? And what would you like to tell the public about it? So whoever would like to start.
This is our spokesman.
Oh, Lewis. Okay, Lewis, you're on.
I found out about Dallas Hebrew Free Loan, I think sometime near when I got out of college, when I was contacted and found out that my great-grandfather was one of the founders. And so we've financially supported it since. And it's a fantastic organization. I think where people can get help with dignity and really have a chance to better their lives without getting burdened with debt and getting stuck in a debt cycle. And from what I understand, my great-grandfather started it in part based on they're coming out of the Great Depression, and he had he was very fortunate to be in a business that was doing well during the time and continued to do well. In fact, I'm grateful that that's the business that he chose. That recycling is something that's not only more pertinent today than yesterday, but tomorrow will be even more so, where many industries have come and gone. So I think the recycling industry has been very fortunate, and so our family's had a long legacy of giving back, starting with my great-grandfather with the Dallas Hebrew Free Loan.
Do any of you know if the legacy was passed on? Did your grandfather get involved, or your grandmother, or your parents? Was it continual with Hebrew Free Loan? Since your great-grandfather started it, helped start it?
Other than financially supporting it, we haven't had a big involvement, but we'd be open to looking into that
Uh-huh.
and maybe participating.
So do any of you know anyone, or you yourselves ever on the board? Or know of anybody that was very involved in it through the years at all?
Great-grandfather was president.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
right,
great-grandfather was president
Right.
of the board, and I've had friends on the board and even past presidents that I've been friendly with as well.
Anybody else know anyone that's currently or was on the board before? So what would draw you, what would make you want to be involved or at least be a donor? You've mentioned some of it, but what about the rest of you? What do you think would propel you into something like that, or want to maybe become more involved in it?
Well, I learned more today than I knew before about it. So, I mean, it's obviously something that's a very good cause, and it sounds like something that could be near and dear to my heart. So I would like to learn more.
Either of you guys?
I know my grandfather was very charitable, and he obviously passed it on to our father and mother, who obviously passed it on to us, so, basically that's.
The door for door.
Right.
Exactly, from generation to generation. Well, maybe one of you will be inspired to talk to Jane, the director,
I
or
volunteer
anybody
Lewis.
on the board,
I volunteered Lewis.
and
Right
get
now.
more involved.
See what this is.
Those-
One of the best things you can do, to your point, Trish, is tell people that it's available to help them. And, that's, word of mouth is really so important to how we get people to come, who may need help but are afraid to ask, right? That's a really hard thing to ask for help.
Are you affiliated, do they get information like at Jewish Family Service about it or anything like that?
So
Okay.
I work really closely with Kathy Barker.
Okay.
at JFS, so yeah. But yes, that's the hardest thing, and to tell someone, or ask them, like, would you be a guarantor, right? People have a really hard time with that. And so those are some of the best things people can do that, that are kind of easy, right? We have 100% repayment rate. That's the secret sauce. So when people offer to guarantee for someone or to tell them to reach out to us, that's magic in and of itself. That's like a huge act.
Yeah.
Louis and Tricia are your people.
You're
You're our
new
people, our new people. That's true. Spreading it word of mouth is the best way, honestly. I've told friends about it. I myself was a recipient years ago for my father's funeral. It was wonderful. I didn't know where to turn besides my rabbi, and I knew there was a Hebrew Free Loan Association here, but like you said, like Jane said, and not enough people even know about it or know that it's available to use. So that's the best. You guys could be ambassadors, if nothing else, and let people know about it. But anything else you want to wrap up and tell us about, or any other things that you want to mention that you've been involved in or would like to tell people about? Or a
about
story?
family history.
Oh yeah, family histories, any story you want to share with us? First of all, how are all of you personally involved in Okon Metals? I mean, do you come in here, do you put in hours here, or just
That would be me.
on the periphery? That would be Louis, okay. And you guys just kind of know, huh? Not personally involved, other than name, in your name, right? Yeah. Anything else you want to share with us? How long has this place been here?
This location is going on 9 years,
And where were you before that?
right down the road. So
Oh, okay.
we consolidated it to this location from 2 other locations, one off of Riverfront Boulevard, formerly Industrial Boulevard, and one right down Lamar Street.
And the original one was in downtown on Canton Street,
In Depot.
on the corner of Good Latimer and Canton.
We have a picture of it up on the wall.
Oh, show us your documents, by the way. Just
Yeah.
hold it up, let us see. what you had there.
So
they-
this
yeah.
is a letter from my great-grandfather, Louis Okon, asking the U.S. military on July 10th, 1945, to release my grandfather from the military, who had been wounded, had been shot in World War II, and was in a hospital in France. And he was explaining how the business supplied the war efforts, and since he would be on limited duty in the military, he was asking for my grandfather, Ben, to be released so that he could come home to run the business and be more of a benefit to the military and to the war effort through his efforts at Okon Iron and Metal Company.
Okay. And that's the original document?
That's the original one.
It's a good thing you have it in a sleeve,
Yeah.
protected, that's good. And the other one? You had showed us that that was his papers to come,
Yes, this is, as it says, the Declaration of Intention to become a U.S. citizen.
okay.
And this is a copy of the original document that details where he's from, the date that he's asking for citizenship.
You guys should all know that it's very invaluable when you have either an original or even a copy of something that has like you said, the last name was not Okon originally, but if anybody knows the original last name and the spelling way back when, that's one way to look up your family history. And if you have something that has a number on it, like his birth date or address where he lived or anything like that. And the third way is the actual place where they came from. And you said it was Bialystok is what was listed there. Those are invaluable pieces of information that you could tell people they can find their family history with just those three things, or one of those three things. You can actually look up and go back even further if you want to. Find out more about your family history from that.
Sure.
So, yeah. I have a quick question for you. Not about Hebrew Free Loan, but in general, I'm always curious. I'm sure you have healthy, friendly competition with other recycling companies and metal, and like, for example, commercial metals. How is it that Jews were attracted to that particular form of employment? Because there huge numbers of Jewish people who came to Dallas got into that business. Is there any way you can
Yeah.
pinpoint why he did that?
Jake Feldman,
Yeah?
who started Commercial Metals, was good friends with my grandfather, and he helped him a lot to get started when he came over here to Dallas.
Oh, okay. So there was that healthy, friendly competition going on there for
Well,
a long time.
Dallas has always been friendly.
Yeah.
The scrap metal business or recycling business or junk business in Dallas has mostly always been Jewish people, because it was a dirty business, so to speak, and people were more apt to go into other businesses where they could wear suits and clothes and impress people and do stuff. And we took what was left and ran with it.
Okay. That makes sense. I've always been curious about that. Well, thank you, Okon family, for your time and your energy and your input. We really appreciate it. And like we said, spread the word about the Dallas Hebrew Free Loan. Tell people all the good things it can do for others and help others, which is, all of you are so charitable, and you know that that's so important to us. So,
And also the Historical Society,
Right,
do great
right.
work of saving our
Yes.
history.
yeah.
I'm
And-
not from Dallas,
Yeah,
so
I know, yeah.
it's been invaluable to me to learn about so many of the families who, I didn't grow up knowing, right? I'm from New Jersey.
Or people that got here, they came to Texas as soon as they could, right?
Yeah, right.
We like to say that, right? Thank you again.